In video games, you can break down every scary moment into two basic categories: fear of imminent danger and fear of the unknown. Fear of imminent danger is your classic jump scare. Monster shows up, trap triggers, or you see a potential hazard, and you know you're going to have to deal with it. Fear of the unknown, on the other hand, are those quiet moments in games where you know the mood is just a little too calm and you're unsure of what's around the corner, but you know it's probably bad news. Fear of imminent danger will mostly be set up by adding enemies or hazards to your environment, but fear of the unknown is done almost entirely through lighting and particle effects in the environment. But before we take a look at my horror level, let's talk about color palette. In horror games, there are two directions you can take the lighting color: warm colors and cold colors. Warmer colors include reds, oranges, and yellows. They typically grab the user's attention and imply that danger is nearby. Cold colors, such as blue, white, and black, do the opposite, spreading out the user's attention and giving an eerie calm to your level. I'll show you how I used warm and cold colors to set the tone in my map. Let's take a look at my outdoor environment. I set the level to nighttime, though you could just as easily make a horror setting during the day. My directional light is a dim white light, while my skylight is a faded blue, both of which are cold colors. This makes my lamps, which are a warm gold, pop out and force the player's attention. The player will stay on the lit path, drawn to the warm lamps that lead up to the temple. My lights are bright, but their light doesn't stretch out too far. Quick tip: make your shadows sharp in scary environments to produce optical illusions. You can do this by lowering the light map resolution on your BSP textures on different surfaces to sharpen the shadows. Don't forget about particle effects and fogs as part of your lighting paths. It adds layers to the environment and obscures visions, and it makes every motion on the screen feel that much more threatening. Games like Silent Hill have always used weathering effects to obscure the player's vision. The player never feels lost or blind, but not being able to see perfectly clear adds an extra layer of fear due to uncertainty. The inside of my temple uses a warmer color palette. If this were a real game, this is the point where I'd start to introduce my enemies to jump out and attack the player. Lamp lights are close enough so that players can see where the next one is, but never more than that. Players should have a little foreshadowing of what to expect, but not too much in a horror setting. Their imaginations will come up with something that's far scarier than what you can hint at. Quick tip: all of my lights are placed as close to the wall as possible. This makes shadows more looming, which brings us to our final room. After a level of dim lights and subtle effects, we overload the player's senses with color and movement. The key isn't a messy room. The key is contrast. Creating fear is about sudden unexpected changes to your environment. You can do this with monsters, music, or in this case, lighting. Next video, I'll be toning our visuals back and looking at the much more straightforward world of action shooters.